Hello everybody, so welcome back to another video. So I had requested a little while ago from Harvey, thanks Harv, about a leg of lamb. So this is that. So what we have here is one of our local lambs we get in from the abattoir. We get all of our meat locally, which is great. However, these lambs that I'm taking apart, I'm doing it first of all to exam spec for my Meat Ipswich apprenticeship that I'm on. So what you'll see today is me boning and rolling the leg of lamb here after taking the cushion off and taking the shank off. So I'm first just taking the nasty gnarly bits off the lamb first. However, I'm practicing on this lamb. Now eventually all of this will be actually turned into mince rather than for the counter. Aside from the nice bits, the rest of it will go into mince, and the reason is because the quality of this lamb isn't up to the standard that we want for our counter. So first things first here, we take the shank off. So this is part of the exam spec is just make a nice lamb shank, which is cutting through where the sort of lower leg bone meets the upper leg. So left in is the kneecap and what would be the femur, as well as what I'm taking out now, which is otherwise known as the H bone, the hip bone. So as soon as that H bone is out, it leaves us with a nice big leg muscle and the femur bone. So this is quite a fiddly part here. So as part of the exam spec for me Ipswich, one of the main things that I'm going to get marked on is my knife skills. And when we're looking at the finished piece, which is our boned and rolled leg joint here, it's going to be making sure that I haven't pierced through the skin of the lamb, which for this lamb, and the reason why it's going into mince, is because the composition of this, so sort of the muscle to bone ratio, is quite low. It's quite a poor spec lamb. It's certainly a lot smaller than we'd expect to see in the counter. So it's very lean, and I've just taken off a little gland there, which I was trying to show to the camera. It's a lot leaner, a lot smaller than our normal and what we were sort of used to expect, but we knew these were coming in. We'd bought these on purpose in order to sort of trim them out and put them into lamb mince. Lamb mince we sell quite a lot of in the shop, so every now and again the lambs that are not as good quality for our shoulders and legs that we sell and saddles that we sell, which hopefully you've seen that other video. So as you see there, I've just taken the cushion off, what we call a cushion, which is the top side here. So this top side, which again this bit here is part of the exam spec, making sure you can identify the top side of the lamb leg, trim it down so it looks nice and neat and tidy. I'll be honest, it's decidedly easier to work on pork, in my opinion, than it is lamb. It's a lot easier because it's a bit of a fattier animal. I feel like the seams are a bit easier to work with. Something like this, sort of making this look a bit nicer. And there is another flap of skin actually, which I don't know if I find that in just a moment. Here, I don't know if I will. No, I'll put it to one side. So we come back to that top side in a moment there. There's another flap of skin that I've missed. So next bit here is boning out that femur bone. And again, as I said before, this is about being as careful as possible without exposing or going through the skin of the lamb, which if you do that, that's going to create a hole, so that when you do roll it and sort of tie it up, if there's a big hole in it, it doesn't look as nice. So take all the gnarly bits off the leg bone there. Anything I can keep for mince, I do. Otherwise there, taking the kneecap out there, that's the last thing you want in your lamb roast. Now, typically the leg part of any animal really, the leg is one of the leaner bits. There will be a couple of glands and seams in here to take out any sort of blood looking bits. You don't want that in your roast dinner either. I'm feeling around for any glands that might be in there, and I've found one. And a gland kind of looks like a kidney bean. You don't really want to be eating that. It tastes very sour and rank. So all of those bits and pieces, have a bit of a feel, make sure it looks as it should. Now, for my exam, I have, I think it's 75 minutes to do what I'm doing here just now. 75 minutes to bone and roll what I'm doing here. Bone and roll the leg, to take off the cushion or the top side that you've seen there, and to make some equal sized steaks, and also take off the lamb shank, as well as a sort of small amount of time to present it all. This is about the length that it sort of goes to there. You don't actually know what you're going to be tested on. Although I know it's going to be lamb, I don't know what option that I'm going to have until the day. So it could be what you saw me do the other day, which is a middle, a saddle. It could be a shoulder, it could be a leg. So I'm quite happy to do any of them really. I feel reasonably confident doing all of these bits and pieces, which obviously is pretty handy. This tying bit here, this needs to obviously be as neat as possible. About sort of finger or thumb thickness is what I tend to go for with the width of each of these, the distance between each string here. So nice butcher's knot, which is a knot that you can tie just now, tie it off so it won't come undone. That will keep this piece in one piece, and it won't sort of fall apart when you're cooking it in the oven. Being the piece that it is, it does look a bit flappy. You can see out to that sort of top side there as I was just playing with it. It's a bit of a flappier piece, but that's about as neat as it kind of is going to get. What I probably would do is sort of trim the edges off, and now I see, there you go, there's a bit of a flap of skin. Yeah, definitely put glove back on. Bit of a flap of skin, or muscle I should say, on the top of this top side, and that comes off, and it sort of leaves a much nicer, cleaner looking piece. And there we go, real clean top side looking piece of lamb. Guys, that is all of it. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.